Jane. So can you tell me, do you remember how the museum started? Something about, I remember you saying that y'all wanted to start an art museum.
Well, we wanted to start a museum, but we realized the first thing we had to have was paintings.
Right.
So we decided, how are we going to get paintings? And that was kind of hard to figure out. So we thought, well, why don't we start by just starting to visit a whole lot of different towns and looking at museums and looking at galleries and then seeing what we think that we might like. And a group of us, we did that. And then we thought, where are we going to put them? And so what we did is we got them and just hung them at different places, wherever we could. And then we wanted to encourage people to come.
Yes.
So we thought, how can we expose people to art? So we decided that at the high school auditorium, they were having concerts with civic music.
Okay.
So we decided we're going to take the paintings down, and the day of the concert, we're going to hang the paintings when they come in. It's the only way we can reach people.
And show them the beautiful art.
So we hung them everywhere you could. I mean, in the foyer and down the hall. And then we all went and would encourage people to walk down the hall and to stop and talk to them about it and tell them who the artists were. And it was just another way to introduce art to Longview.
How wonderful.
And then when we decided that the Junior League was the ones that really began it. And so when they decided to have a museum, and I was in there, they said, well, we don't have paintings. We do need paintings.
Right.
And we all thought, well, how do you get paintings to have a museum?
Right.
So we decided, go visit all of the galleries and the art companies and all that if you can, and see if some of these people are willing to help us.
Now, you told me that y'all went to visit Jerry Bywaters, the director of the Dallas Museum of Art, and that he told you need to host an invitational and invite all these artists that are from around Texas and Arkansas and New Mexico. And I believe he was the juror for the first invitational that you had. And then y'all did that for 20 years or something?
Yeah, I think that we had quite a few of those parties at our house on the Geese.
So what happened as you're collecting these paintings? Where did you store these paintings?
Oh, that was unreal. At the house on Pegues, we had a bathhouse around the pool. And I told Glenn, my husband then, can we move all the furniture back? And so we'll have a lot of room in the center, and we're going to have all these artists ship their paintings here.
Okay, so the first museum was your bathhouse.
My bathhouse.
That's fantastic.
And it was a headache because if we wanted to show them off, like at the auditorium, you know, before a performance, all of us women had to load our car with these, and some of them were like this.
Yeah, big paintings. So I'm imagining all the station wagons lined up.
We couldn't put them in open trucks. I mean, it was hysterical. We moved them down and put them in the foyer and down the hall so that we would have an audience. That's the only way we knew to get an audience. And as the people came in to see the performance, they began to really stop and look at it. Not all of them, but a lot of them, you know. And then when the performance was over, we all went back and took all the paintings down, put them back in our station wagons, It was work. It was work.
It was work. So, when did y'all start hanging the paintings at the Nicholson Library? Do you remember? How did that happen?
Well, we did that pretty early because they were really nice. That they okayed the ones that they wanted, and they were real nice about it. And I'm trying to think. We went when we wanted to show up more. We went to. This is really strange. It's hard for me to remember it. We wanted to actually put as many paintings as we had in what could be called a museum, and we didn't have any money. So we somehow rented an old house that was in the part of Longview where you go to the old swimming pool we had.
Right.
And it was a tall house, and we rented it, and we hung our paintings in it.
Is this the old Northcutt Furniture Building?
No,
Nope, different
this
house.
was the first house.
Okay.
And we didn't stay there too long, but we were waiting for somebody to offer us something better.
Right.
And so after that, at least we got attention, and people knew that this was going to be a museum, and that we needed help. And so the Guild Gallery that was gone, that was part of the old Mac Williams building. They said, we're going to clean out the back part of the main floor and let you all bring paintings.
Oh, how wonderful.
We took the paintings and hung them back there. And then we had to kind of advertise to get people to come down there because nobody wanted to go down to in the back to there. But we just moved them, wherever we could, because we just didn't know where to put them.
Right. Right.
And I'm trying to think. We did put them in performances, and we did reach people that way. And then we had people to offer us crazy buildings that were empty.
Right, and you could hang them there.
That we could use.
How did you find the artists to come? Do you remember how y'all found different ones?
Well, the only way that we knew, we studied by going to museums ourselves. And we studied that way, trying to find the ones that we liked and the ones that seemed to have done the best. And then we said, and I think I mentioned that we didn't have any place to put them.
Right.
But we did decide, as I said before the concerts, we did go down to the high school auditorium and hang them, even down the hall where the classroom started. And then the next day we took them all down.
Y'all got your exercise.
But at least children saw them, and you'd be surprised how many people came to those.
So tell me about the picture ladies and your love of art. So how did you, tell me about that course you sent off for.
I ordered the Metropolitan Seminar of Art. And I've donated all of the books to the museum. But I wanted to learn from the beginning on. And it had 12 books. And the books came with, when you opened the door, they'd have photographs of all the paintings.
Okay.
So I would get in the den in our house and take all of those pictures and put them out on the rug. And then I'd sit there and read about them and study them. And when the children would come home, they would come in the den and say, "Mother," because I'd say, "Don't step on anything," because these were all these from the Metropolitan books.
So you're learning about Matisse and Monet and Rodin.
And those books I gave to the museum.
I came across them.
Yeah,
the other
you
day.
all have them.
We do.
But that's how I studied it, and then putting them on the floor was a way that I could begin to realize how these people I'd heard of painted. And you kind of find out too what you like and what you don't like.
So, so why do you think art's important?
Why do I think art's important? Because it's creative. Like music's creative. Like dance is creative. I think that anything that is creative is important for human beings. Because if they can be creative, they can begin to find out who they are. You know, and look what people can do.
I know, it's amazing. So you taught yourself about all the art, and then how did you go about teaching all the other Junior Service League ladies about?
Well, I couldn't really get everybody to take the seminar and read what I did, but they all got interested. And the more we talked about it, the more they got interested in it. And we began to say, well, where do we begin? And some of us said, why not the schools?
Right.
And they all said, how can we do this in the schools? And I said, well, we'll just call the principal and ask if they like if we can come on a certain day and bring the paintings, and we'll stand up in front of the classroom and have an easel or 2 easels and have some pictures, and we can put them up there and say, okay, kids, what do you see?
Right.
What do you like? What do you not like? And then we can tell, and then we say, ask us questions. And then we tell them about them. And, you know, and children react real fast to that.
They do.
But it was difficult because we had to load them up and load them, and we had to get everybody's station wagon to put them in.
So, but the picture ladies, didn't y'all have portfolios that you took? So, it's so the Junior Service League came up with this group of ladies called the Picture Ladies, and they did this outreach to the school children to give them a basic art history lesson. So you were back then trying to ignite the passion for the arts.
And we even got little outfits.
Well, what were the outfits like?
Well, it was mainly everybody's slacks and a top.
Okay.
The top that matched.
You had a uniform.
Yeah, we
The
had,
picture
had
lady.
a little uniform.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a dream, but we didn't know what else to do, because we didn't think that we could ever get a museum if we didn't have enough people interested in art.
Right.
And the public schools, when I was growing up, didn't even have art.
Wow.
I don't, probably they did with you, but when I went to school, they didn't have art.
Wow.
Now they do have art in the schools, so the children are able to be a little bit informed. But the only way that when I was growing up that you saw art was when your parents took you to a museum. And so it was a little bit unusual to me to feel when we were talking about all this, thinking, we're going to have a museum? How can we have a museum? How are we going to get the money? How are we going to get the artist? So we went and talked to people in different towns, and we talked to tried to talk to some of the ladies that had been in this situation to see maybe what they could offer us to help us. And that was one of the places that they said, show paintings wherever you can.
Right.
In other words, get a captive audience. Well, we had it at Civic Music, but we didn't know anywhere else to take it. And so we said, why don't we have picture ladies? And I don't know where we found that. I don't know where that came from. I just remember I had heard about it or saw it. Well, we got the ones in the Junior League that were really interested, and gave them the paintings that they would show, and then they would have to do a little background.
Right.
On,
Get their little spiel down.
and then the picture, and I was one. Then we would go in the public schools, and we'd take our paintings, and we would never take but maybe 4. And then we'd have a little book that we sketched that we had gotten for ourselves. And we'd go in, and it depended on the age of the children. But children react. I mean, they react if you turn them loose.
Yes.
And so I had picture ladies, and they would hold up the paintings, and then we'd say things like, "What do you see?" Or you'd point to somebody, a little girl, or she raised her hand, and I see so-and-so. And then a little boy, "What do you see?" "I see so-and-so." And the main thing we were trying to do is get them interested in looking at original art, and not just passing it over, but really looking at it. And we did that. Picture ladies, I don't remember how long we did it, but we ran out of girls. They got tired of it. I think we probably did it about 3 years.
What a great start.
You know, but that was about the only way that we could bring it in the schools. And then I'm trying to think. So here we are showing pictures at all the concerts, and then we're doing picture ladies. So all of this is a build-up,
right,
for us to finally have a museum. And we didn't know how much it would cost.
Yeah, it takes a little bit.
And we didn't know where it was going to be.
Right.
And so we started with a few pictures. And then we started, like, as I said, we didn't have a place to put them.
Right.
So Mac Williams Gale Gallery said, "You can put them in the back. We'll make a place for you." So we'd take them down in our station wagons, uncrate them, and put them back there. And then put them, and there was another place that somebody offered that we could, it was just a place where we could put the paintings, they wouldn't get spoiled.
Right. It was my understanding there were 5 different locations that it
There
went to
were.
at different
I
places.
can't think what the rest of the
Perkins
places
building,
were.
I think the Perkins building was one. And
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Perkins went under, and they had an empty building.
Okay.
So when Perkins said we could go there, we got some more paintings, because we could have a bigger show.
Okay.
And we hung, they had 2 stories.
Oh, right.
We put what we could downstairs and tried to really make it like a museum. And then one of the girls said, "Well, Jane, what are we going to do about the upstairs? What about a class?"
Oh.
And I said, "Well, I hadn't thought of that. Do you really think that anybody will come to a class?" And whoever it was really on top of it, said, "I think we ought to have children. And I think we can get some volunteers." So, without knowing a thing, we started having children upstairs at Perkins.
How about that?
So they could see paintings, and then we'd ask them what they see, and then we'd give them crayons or something and paper, and let them do what they wanted to.
So tell me about, is it Keila Borden?
Bourdon.
And how was she inspirational to you?
Well, Keila and her husband opened the Art Mart, and it was the only store in Longview that sold art supplies.
Oh.
And also they had a few small paintings. And it was on Marberly.
Okay.
And it was in a little small building. And I stumbled in there one day, and I got so interested because of what they had to look at. And so I told other people about it. And then some others started coming. And at least what it did is people began to talk about art. Because like I said, when I grew up in Longview, that art was a strange word.
Right.
And so at least we would go into the Bourdon little building, and they had some paintings of some of their friends that were like, not drawings that you could buy.
Mm-hmm.
But also what Keela did that was so important to me is she would have artists to come by and see her when they came through, and she'd ask me to come so I could meet them.
Oh.
And so that was another way to branch out.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't know a lot of artists.
No, and you told me that you used to invite the artists to your home and have cocktail parties.
Well, and after we got this, that came the next step.
Oh, the next step, okay.
The next step was when we decided on the artist. Now we've got a place, we're going to have a museum.
Okay.
So now we've got to have some good artists to bring paintings.
Mm-hmm.
So we all got together and thought, what would, and maybe entice them.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody came up with, Jane, why don't we come to your house for drinks and hors d'oeuvres? And I said, okay. So we would have them come by, and when we had a show, we'd have them, invite them to come by, and we'd have other people that were interested.
So they'd meet the artist and
to meet the artist, and have some hors d'oeuvres and some drinks, and the artist loved it.
right.
And
Good way to meet the public.
And I think what it was the people that were there could go out and talk about it.
Right.
We were trying to spread the word, that because we knew it was going to ever finally have a museum, it would be hundreds of dollars. And so we knew that the first thing that we needed to do was get people interested in art.
Mm-hmm.
And that really, you can't be interested in art unless you can feel paintings, hold them, look at them, see what they are, know that this is in oil, this is in pastel, get into it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had, volunteers that would, when we went into the schools to talk to the children, we would, what they loved was when we would pass out paper
And then they get to try their own
and
hand.
pencil and say, draw whatever you want to, and then tell us what it is. They loved it. And I don't know that they do anything like that anymore. I probably not, in the elementary schools. But at least now we have a place, a museum where they can take children.
Yep.
So, we made steps up.
Yes, you did. Now look what's happening.
And really, now I think, don't the schools some bring classes to the museum?
Yes, we have school tours that come through, and we try. Sometimes we'll do an art project to go with whatever exhibit we have, so they can learn the technique, or if it's on quilting or collage.
So you're really involved with the public schools, aren't you?
Yes. No, yes.
That's what I thought.
COVID's kind of taken a little hit on that, but but yes, we still do lots of.
Do you ever have, at the museum, do you ever give lessons to children?
We do. We have a big summer arts program. We had 242 students come through this past summer. And then in the fall and spring, winter months, we have more adult classes. So it's always an outreach, trying to find, as you say, introducing art to people. I always tell people, I'm always surprised. I might not want to hang the painting over my fireplace, but I'm always interested to hear what the artist says, and I always learn something. They might actually be telling a message about poverty or the environment or homelessness or whatever, or it may just be a beautiful picture and it's a color study of some. So I've just found it fascinating. Anyway, so that's and I think Rogers Pope Jr. says, and this is what you were talking to me back in the 1958, 1960, the Junior League was knowing that every great city has culture and arts, and how are we going to bring this to Longview, which was really just growing, becoming, things were lots of pasture fields back then. We've grown a lot in the last 60 years. And so I think the symphony and the ballet and a lot of those things were starting in those early years. So I think it's really amazing that you and those group of ladies got started. Tell me about Betty Bodenheim. What was her role?
Well, Betty was just extremely interested. I mean, big time.
Yeah.
and having a museum. And
now she was a little bit older than you, correct?
Oh, a lot older. Yes, okay. She's gone. And at the time that all this was going on, it was when I was very young. I mean, when we were trying to...
so you're in your 20s?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, with children at home and all of that. But and every time my husband, Glenn, and I would take a trip with the children, we drug them to every museum in every town. Because I wanted them to not think of art as something way away or not part of our life. I wanted them to see that art is just another part of our living. It's the way people record what's going on.
Right.
And so whenever we took trips, we took them to museums. And I think they got where they liked it. And then gradually, I took lessons, and then gradually, I decided that it was getting time for us to have some good paintings. Okay. And I had no idea about prices, so I didn't tell my husband or children. I just on my own, I went to some of the places to buy paintings. I'm trying to think. I guess would it be at a museum that they sell them?
Well, or at a gallery.
A gallery. I guess it was a gallery, and I didn't know where to go. I went to Tyler, and then I went to Dallas, and I started taking them. And I wanted them to not put art in a quote other place. It's art is a part of the whole scene. Just like music and dancing and playing sports, it's all part of it. And that's what I said, if we get it over to children when they're little, then they can grow up with art being part of their life.
Right, part of the fabric. It's just
because it wasn't that way when I was growing up. Here, they didn't, because there was none. So I think that has pretty well happened in Longview. I mean, I think, see, when I was growing up, art was just like a strange something. But I think that now, all of the children are interested, and the parents take them to museums. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And the schools, I think most of them, don't they offer something in drawing or anything to do with art?
They do. There's like one art class per 3 grades, I think. So I wish there was more, and that's where I think the museum and the picture ladies kind of filled that gap. And what we still try to do is provide that educational aspect that the schools can't provide.
Well, do you still have picture ladies?
We don't, but we might start it again.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking that would be a good idea.
Because I don't know of any other way that children are learning in public schools about art. Because when you were growing up, did you learn about art in school?
Yes, I did. I had a 3rd grade teacher that taught me about art, and I remember we had a class every year. I think we had some.
Where was that?
A long time ago, Beaumont, where I was from.
Well, we didn't have that as well as I remember. I don't remember any learning about art.
So, what's your favorite painting you've been collecting for a while? Do you have a favorite artist?
Of mine or of ones in
Or of the museum, I guess you would know.
Well, no, I really don't have a favorite painting because there's something to like in all of them, and there's something you don't like.
Right.
You know, I mean, like I look at the picture of Jenny, and I'm overcome because it looks exactly like her.
I love that one.
I mean, exactly. And I have portraits of everybody, but hers looks more like her than anybody. And I think that's just fantastic.
Quite a talent.
You know, and then the paintings, what helped me more than anything is what I said. I took the Metropolitan Seminar and studied it. And then when I would go to the museums, I would go up real close and try to see exactly like how they did the paint and everything. And then Glenn and I would take the kids all the time. But I will say that unless parents make an effort to expose them to art, they're not going to get into it. I mean, there's no way, unless the public school gets to them. And that's one reason that I have wanted so much, for, like our museum, the bus to pick up the kids. Don't they do that and bring them in down there now?
They do.
Because how long do they stay?
Well, it depends. Sometimes they'll come, and if there's a large group, if there's 60 kids, 20 of them might go take a tour, 20 of them might go watch an art film, and the other 20 we'll take into the Creative Learning Center and do an art project. So that way we can, they can spend an hour and each have...
I didn't know you did all that.
We did. Or we do.
Well, how often, like in 1 week, how many would you have come?
Well, things have changed a little bit since the pandemic.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's right.
It's just, So we've done a little bit more virtual tours now. I've even done some where I've walked around and been beamed up to 5 different classes at the same time for 125 third graders. But it's something we're trying to do more of and reach out more to the kids. But they're starting to come back.
Well, do you have many people that help you?
Who's interviewing who? No, we can always use more volunteers and more helpers, and we were really kind of ramping up on that, and then the pandemic hit. So I hope that we can build more of that, and I think the new facility that we're working on, and we're actually working on partnering again with the Junior Service League.
Well, now see, that's what when I was so interested in the league, is when I got picture ladies.
Yes.
But see, it died down.
Well, I think everything's kind of cyclical. It has a big start and then.
Well, you just run out of. There may be 1 year. There's just no wives and mothers that have the time to come do it. See?
That's exactly it.
But I do think it's something that is important.
I do too.
And then the next question I want to ask is, how's the whole episode of moving to the Longview National Bank?
So it's coming along, and we hope to move in maybe at the end of 2023, but it's a big process, and so working with architects and raising money, and but it's coming along. It's coming along.
Well, are people very excited about it? And I mean, do you think people will donate money to it?
I think people will donate, and then we've already raised about $3.6 million.
You have?
And then we're applying for the state tax credits, which will be 25% of the budget, so another $2 million or so. So we'll be at 5.6, and then I think we'll have another 4.5 or so to raise. So we're working on that.
Is there any idea just how much it would take to have what we want to do?
Right now, we're working in the final phases of figuring that out, and I should know something the second week of March. I think it'll be in the $10 million range.
Oh, I mean,
10 million?
10 million.
Yes. So it is a big, so what's wonderful is to think of this dream that you and the Junior League ladies started 62 years ago, and where it's led us to now, which is where we're building a world-class museum.
Well, and it will happen.
It will. It really will.
I mean, sometimes it takes a while to reach the right people.
Yes.
And to get all people interested. It doesn't matter if they give $1,000, if they give $20, but to get all people interested in giving money because so that we can make them know that it's important to have a museum.
It is important.
Because we know it's important, but there are a lot of children that don't ever know that, and are never exposed to it, are never taken. That's why it's so great that the public schools now are putting them on a bus.
Well, and then this museum, because it will be right in the heart of downtown, and downtown is having this resurgence, and there's lots of people, and they're milling around, and so what we hope is that the museum will be a place that you can just walk in. It's a place to meet and play and create, and where kids will hopefully be like, "Mom, I want to go to the museum," and go check it out. So
I think that should be in the near future.
I think so.
I really do. I mean, I know that all of the contemporaries of mine, when we were raising children, I didn't have too many that were that interested in art. I was, and that's why every time we took the trips on the kids on a trip, we went to the museum in whatever city we were in, But so many, it may be kind of a little slow process. It's kind of like, something that new comes along and it takes a while for you to get used to it. I think that something new about art is that it's always been put on a place a little bit higher up. And it's not like you're teaching math or chemistry.
Right.
You're trying to create. And sometimes it takes a while. Children want to create, but they have to be given the chance and the utensils to do it.
Did you say that something about a community theater? Was there other groups that you helped start or knew about community theater that?
No, community. That's because we thought we ought to bring drama.
Well, if you've got the arts, you've got to have drama. So that's why all these things were starting. So
yeah, we wanted to start. We needed to start live entertainment.
Okay. So didn't y'all partner? I know the ballet came. Y'all did some coordinating with the ballet and maybe the theater and the art.
I tell you what we did. We knew that we couldn't produce it from here, so we brought in civic music. And civic music we could join and pay so much, and they would send us 4 concerts that year. And then we started bringing in, I guess it was, I've forgotten what, that brought us dance teams. I can't think.
Okay.
I don't know whether that was civic music or who it was.
Well, and wasn't your friend Keila, wasn't she involved in theater too, or something? Music. She liked the music and the art.
I don't remember her.
And she used to write. She wrote for the paper or had a little column.
Yeah, I think she did. But it's just that we didn't have a whole lot of people that were into it. And now you can just feel that Longview has an art element. I mean, we've got lots of people now that are aware of it, and because if the children learn it, they'll grow up with it. Even if adults don't learn it until they're 60, it's going to enrich their life.
Right.
But the thing about it that with art is that all of the patrons, all of the people like us, have to make a way to be sure that children are exposed to art. Mm-hmm. I mean, if they're not ever exposed, they may not ever be introduced to it. And but I think now, I see, at the age I am, I see more interest in art in the schools now. I mean, never was it like this when I was growing up. Never.
Have you seen all the murals and things that are happening downtown now?
I've just seen them in from the car because I don't ever go down. We haven't gone downtown because of COVID.
Right.
Who's doing those?
Oh, it's part of the Cultural Arts District, and but it's a real resurgence, and it's neat to see art everywhere. You know, and on the
Well, who's behind this that got it started?
the Cultural Arts District. We applied, and we now are a designated Cultural Arts District in the state of Texas. So they applied for some grant money, and then the grant monies are seeing that effort. So there's, I think, 5 new murals. And then the Cultural Arts District Board interviewed different artists, and they selected different designs to go around. So there will be more coming, but I think that's...
Well, that's really a big movement, isn't it?
It is a big movement. And so all of that is happening, of course, and then the art museum will be happening. So I think Longview's primed to take another step. And then the Arboretum down the way. I mean, so there's just lots of nice synergy happening among all the arts. Theater, symphony, ballet.
Well, I know that I remember when the symphony started, and then I look where it's gone. Or civic music, where it's gone. And the ones who like orchestra.
Right.
They have, I mean, what Longview has in culture now is like 100 times more than when I was growing up. We just didn't have it. But now, and of course, with all of the new things we have to communicate, it's easier to do it. But I think that the fact, like what you're saying, the children coming to the museum, and the things making our town downtown spruce it up.
And become a destination
like
spot.
you know, murals or whatever, but spruce it up. And it's just that and when I say art, it's not just pictures and painting. Art can be a form of music. I mean, it's culture. And if children can be exposed when they're growing up to music, to art, and to dance, and the things that sometimes are kind of the frosting on the cake. But if children can be exposed to those, and when I was growing up, the reason they weren't is because it cost so much money to give them lessons. But see, now we're having them bring the stuff to school, and I think that overall, our culture has now grown to include, as your child grows up, don't just teach them math and how to read and blah, 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 but give them the frosting on the cake.
Yes.
Don't you see that happening?
Yes, the frosting on the cake. And the other thing is, art is a universal language. You know, you can talk in pictures, and you may not be able to speak the same language or even have the same, dare I say, political views or religious views, but sometimes art can bring you together. And, and enable a conversation or enable you to see a different way. And so, excited about that.
I think it's a real good way for children to communicate by making their drawings. Because, you know, sometimes if children don't come from a family that don't talk a lot or don't communicate a lot, they don't learn that. Mm-hmm. But it helps if you have an outlet, and whether it's to sing a song, or to learn to play the piano, or to draw. That's why the arts are so important, that our children have their arts, because the intellectual life has to be, we've got to know all that, but we need the frosting on the cake.
I love that, Jane. A little frosting on the cake.
Frosting on the cake.
I went to a tangent Bible study once about, and it talked about that we're all made in God's image, and we're all creators, and we all create in our own way, and art is a way for us to create. And I liked that. Made sense to me. If our world is God's creation and art is part of that, it's just a natural flowing of we can't not create, basically, whether you're building a chair or making a dinner.
I think what you and I both were kind of saying is art should become a part of our life, like sports.
Right.
I mean, and when children are taught how to run and how to play basketball and baseball, and that's important. Mm-hmm. But in my childhood, art had a stigma. Anything that was in the fine arts, it was more of a stigma. And we're not there. I mean, we were away from that now. Mm-hmm. But now, children can get music. And see, we couldn't do that. In school, they're getting a lot of music now. And I think that they're probably, I don't know about whether children take piano anymore or not.
They do.
They do? Okay. And I know they all take dancing. So we've come a long way. And I have seen so much happen in Longview, because I've been here all my life, that I really never thought would happen.
Isn't it wonderful that it has?
So I think that all we can do is just look forward. I mean, I think the museum will eventually have enough money to be moved to the back building. And then, of course, it's going to take a lot to do the back building over, isn't it?
Yes, but we're working on that. We won't move in till we're ready to move in, and it's just perfect. So the building will be wonderful, because it will not only be known as a fantastic art museum, but it'll be known for the architecture and the repurposing of the bank character.
Are they going to have to do a whole lot inside to it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Because of lighting, and you've got to have certain temperature that the art has to be kept at, and there's we have to move in some movable walls and hang in. There's a lot to make into an art museum. Turn a bank into an art museum, but it's super exciting.
Is the building itself, does it need work done to make the rooms change or something?
Oh, it's going to take a good bit. I mean, but we've got a good plan. We have good architects. We have a good construction team. And
will we have trouble getting money to do it?
Well, did you have a little trouble getting it 60 years ago? A little bit. So it just takes you just keep trying and keep working at it, but I have no doubt that it's going to happen, and then it'll come together.
I have no doubt either.
So everyone's very excited.
Well, I think that this is kind of a good way to end this.
Okay.
That we're going to have a beautiful new museum right downtown that will be the envy of everybody. And it will be make the downtown even more prosperous.
Yes, it will.
And bring more people. And so I really think that it's going to be one of the best things that's happened.
I think so too. I think it'll be a tourist destination. I think even some of those Dallas people want to come over and see it.
I hope it, since I'm getting in that age, I hope it happens right away.
I do too. I do too.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.